where a lot of times you don't have that on a stick-built home that's built on site. The quality control is basically the contractor that you hire. So, in my opinion, the modular style like that, where they bring them in and they set them on a existing foundation, is the way that we should be probably doing. Okay, that's a custom home. Like he said, 1,500 homes a year, and you just send them a plan and they build it. I'm sure they have some stock plans that they put out a bunch of too, but you can't get much more custom than sending them your plan and then building it. It's the same as you would do it at your house. Now, there's some other things that I'm not necessarily a fan of. Now, it sounds the same, but manufactured home and modular are two different things. Okay, manufactured is more like what we call a double wide. It is a cheaper version of what we just looked at. All right, it is a discount Walmart version. We just looked at, in my opinion, if we want to call Walmart the cheap brand. Okay, yeah, you can even go below. Well, there's a step below manufacturer.
Yeah.
That would be Dollar General. And you got Walmart. Then you got probably, I would almost say like Dillard's. Like Dillard's would be modular. And then, of course, you have the high-end custom that you be like Versace or something like that. One of those high-end Gucci stores or something. You always have that way over the top, way more expensive than what you need kind of, version. But modular is probably the way we're going to be ending up here in the next few years, being more and more common. Now, we're always going to have stick built because people can build their own house. We're always going to have that cheap Dollar General, Walmart brand as well, because people can't afford the nice stuff. Because, to be honest, that's 2x6 walls and some of that stuff that you were looking at. That's 512 and I didn't see a pitch less than 512 on anything that company did. You got 10, 12 pitches on the roof. You got bonus rooms for above your thing. It's 2 stories plus a bonus room, so it's 3 stories. I mean, those are some big houses. And you put them on basements too. So you got a basement underneath it. So you've got a lot of options. One of the main options you got is speed. Now, if you go over here, whatever the name of it is, at the edge of town, edge of Marion, and buy one of those cheap ones, in my opinion, that's like a Dollar General's brand.
Something Dream Homes.
I don't know. But yeah, you put a foundation in 2-3 weeks, they can hook onto that with their truck and drive it out there, and you're good to go in a month. But you don't have the quality which you do on the modulars. We could go through this chapter, spend a bunch of time going over all the different ones, but I just thought I'd show you guys a few videos. Say it again.
These people that build their homes, we're actually looking into those, and do they have their own provided dirt people, or could I personally do the site myself with their elements?
What I've found over the years is they are very versatile. They dealt with every single type of, I'm an electrician, I want to wire my own. I'm a dirt contractor, I'm a concrete contractor, all I want you to do is just set the house. They've got that options.
Brand is sponsored by
So,
we get to follow through what's called open panel or panelized construction. Let's start today's show by explaining to the viewer exactly what open panel construction is.
Open panel means it's open on the inside of the wall. You can see the studs, you can see the sheeting on the outside of the wall, and the interior walls are just the studding. Nothing is covered up. Closed panel, the sheeting would be on the inside, the drywall. We don't do that. We can see everything on the inside, standing inside the home.
Okay, and so if I'm understanding you correctly, you're taking the field framing aspect of traditional home building and bringing that in a climate-controlled environment, making it very builder-friendly, framer-friendly in here, so you can build them year-round and not worry about the elements?
Exactly. And so we'll build the floor systems, the wall panels, and the roof trusses. Everybody uses roof trusses today. We make our own roof trusses. That way we can control the design with the rest of the plan. And then we can control the delivery as well, the roof trusses. But the floors we can make out of 2x10s, I-joists, floor trusses. We build all types of floors. And the walls, we'll build 2x4, 2x6 exterior walls, 8 foot, 9 foot, whatever the height is.
It sounds as though this open panel construction has very few limitations, if any at all, and you're just making it more efficient in the building process?
Yes, that's what we do. We design everything on paper, Stu, with our architectural designers. So we know before we cut a board or pound a nail, the length of our.
As Doug alluded to, open panel construction is simply bringing the field framing aspect of home building into a controlled environment.
So, what's but different than this with our habitat houses? Nothing. This is what our habitat is. Panelized construction. Now, there is some advantages. They've got tables, that table's got a big roller on it, so you don't have to bend over and build it on the ground. So it's more efficient, more ergonomic for the building process. You know, when you got your nail gun up off the ground like that, where you can get an angle, you don't blow the nails out the bottom. You know, there's, they're a little bit more high tech than we are, but it's the same process of what we were talking about. Here's a log home, pre-manufactured, panelized, or not panelized, but system.
Might not go quite this fast, but one of our log shells can usually be built in just a few days. By following a few common sense guidelines, erecting one of our log homes can be a very rewarding and fun experience. Before setting the first course of logs, make sure your subfloor measurements are accurate and square. Regardless of the type of subfloor or foundation that supports the log shell, the first course of logs should be mounted on a standard sill gasket. Each log will have a unique number and letter code printed on either end. This code is always read from the outside looking in and starting from the left. The first number represents the wall location. The second number represents the specific log course, and the letter represents the log order from the left side. Wall numbers and locations are marked clearly on the blueprints provided with the materials package. Our talented team of designers and technicians carefully ensure that each log is perfect. From concept to design to production in our shop, nothing is left to chance. All our logs and timbers are custom cut with our state-of-the-art computer programming and machinery. You're now ready to lay the first course of logs. The first wall is always composed of a half course. That is, the logs are cut in half. If they mount directly to a frame subfloor, secure them with fasteners that are provided with the materials package. Mounting directly to a concrete foundation wall, drill holes in the logs and secure them with standard anchor bolts. Our longest timbers are 16 feet long. Any walls longer than 16 feet will feature our unique timber lock. With the help of gravity and engineering, this self-tightening joint secures two lengths of logs together into a nearly seamless single timber. No complicated splines or joinery to slow you down. And in just a few seconds, you're ready to move on to the next course of logs. Each corner dovetail requires a foam gasket. The gasket should be combined with caulking to create a triple seal, a continuous air and watertight barrier.
So the key is bring this out nice to the edge. You don't want it over, or it'll roll over and then you can't get tight, and you don't want to leave it back.
Once the caulking and gaskets are in place, you're ready to lay the next course of logs. When the log is set properly, use one of the fasteners we provide to fully secure the timbers. Screw it at an angle, keeping the screw perpendicular to the dovetail, and countersink slightly to allow for log settling. Whether it's a full course or a half course timber lock, the joints also have to be caulked to create a good seal. It's important to utilize the foam gaskets and caulking around the entire perimeter of the log shell. Properly installed, these elements help create an airtight seal that will contribute to lower heating and cooling costs and prevent drafts. Our logs have a double tongue and groove configuration. To seal the tongues, we provide a butyl gasket that has a paper backing that you peel off just before the next course is put in place. The log groove has a single foam gasket that also has paper backing that needs to be peeled off. You will generate a considerable amount of paper waste. Keep the site clean and free of this debris to avoid any tripping hazards. At each corner, we pre-drill a hole from the top course to the bottom course. We provide expandable spray foam that should be used in every course as the log walls are built up. This helps to completely seal our corner dovetails. Because it's expanding foam, you only need to fill the hole about halfway up. The various foam and butyl gaskets and caulking help create a truly air and watertight seal. There should be no spaces or gaps anywhere in the log courses without sealants and gaskets. If you follow one log to the next, make sure there is a continuous seal between every course. If possible, it's a great idea to stack the logs on the subfloor and keep them relatively organized. Shorter pieces can be stacked vertically to conserve space and for ease of access. Try to keep all the logs near to where they will be placed on the wall. Our timber locks are very precise and tightly milled. On occasion, you may have to pound the log down slightly with a hammer. Always use a sacrificial block or a piece of scrap lumber to avoid damaging the logs. All our logs are pre-drilled and pre-routed for electrical outlets, wiring, and light switches, which saves a great deal of time on site. Our log walls can easily be erected by hand, but as the walls rise, it gets a bit more difficult and heavy to lift the logs. It's a good idea to have sturdy ladders and scaffolding on hand to work at varying heights. As you approach the top courses, use a few extra pairs of hands to help erect the longer logs. You're up quite high, and the logs can be heavy and awkward to maneuver. Working as a team helps the project go faster and more safely. We have taken through-rod technology to the next level. We pre-drill holes every 60 inches and 12 inches